Cricket assumes a profound role in the lives of every Indian, serving not only merely as a source of entertainment but also as a source of profound national pride. With appearance of a national team in their distinctive blue attire. But this sentiment is further amplified by our performances in the cricketing bastions of the Sena nations, Australia and England. In these foreign arenas, we find ourselves confronting not only the opposition players but also the animated crowds, scrutinizing media, and the entire populace of these nations. The challenge of delivering under such circumstances is undeniably formidable, laden with the weight of expectation and scrutiny. Ladies and gentlemen, I am 𝘱𝘭𝘢𝘺, Head of Public Relations and Branding, Team EPCVIT Pune. On this momentous commemoration of Independence Day, we are graced with the esteemed presence of a hero, one whose talents have shone brightly amidst the most demanding conditions, emerging victorious from each trial, whether with the bat, the ball, or both. His contributions has transcended expectations, etching his name into the annals of cricketing glory. Although his reputation precedes him, I find myself humbled by the privilege of introducing the embodiment of excellence, Mr. Shardul Thakur sir. So welcome Shardul sir on this special occasion of Independence Day interview series with you.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me for this interview.
Yes sir.
Welcome, sir.
So sir, let's begin with the journey. As we know sir that you have made your domestic debut for Mumbai's Ranji team in 2012 in Rajasthan against Rajasthan to making your international debut for India in the ODI in 2017 against the Lankans. So what were the challenges you faced during the initial phase of your career?
I rightly asked. I mean, challenges are one thing which everyone faces, whether it's day-to-day life or whether it's their profession, uh, whether you are doing a 9 to 5 job or if you're playing sports as well. So my life was no different. I had to face a lot of challenges, and one of my biggest challenge when I made my debut for Mumbai in the Ranjitrophy against Rajasthan for a couple of years. I was still traveling from my hometown Palghar to Mumbai to practice, to before the games or after the games. So I did not have a house to live in Mumbai. Plus, I had to travel for 2 hours in train, carrying all my bags. So that was one of the toughest challenge I faced. Apart from that, as far as cricket is considered, I think I had to learn a lot when they picked me in the team. Yes, I had quite a few good performances in club cricket or in under 23 cricket, in selection trial games also. I wasn't as good as I am right now. Uh, Probably bowling wise, I was a little erratic. I had to channelize my bowling. I was still batting back then, but it wasn't good enough to establish myself in the Ranji Trophy team. So I had to work on it, but it's a constant work in your game. I would say every cricketer has to go through that grind, and uh, every game was a kind of surprise for me because I had never experienced Ranji Trophy games ever in my life. I had seen a few, but playing there and as a 21-year-old boy who's come from village, everything was new for me, and I was sharing the dressing room with the likes of Ajit Agarkar, Sachin Tendulkar sir. He was available to play a few games. Zahir Khan was available. Wasim Jafar, Rohit Sharma, Ajinkya Rahane. So you name the personalities. We had everyone in the Mumbai dressing room. So to play with them, I was a bit nervous, and every game was an experience for me. Like I said, so the challenging part was to live up to the expectations um uh, of a Mumbai cricketer, like how Mumbai cricketer would perform, or how he would go out there and play like a lion when you're playing against any other opponent in the country. But yeah, inside me somewhere down the line, I knew that I belong to this level, but not getting complacent and equally working hard for it and constantly working hard for it. And probably that's what transpired in me, and took my game forward from there. And in coming years after my debut, may in the year that I made my debut, my performance wasn't great, but I had shown some promise. and year later I backed it up. I backed it up with good performances. Uh, so the people, those who selected me, those who backed me, they weren't wrong. I mean, I proved them that okay, I belong here. And now when I also know that I can perform at the highest level of domestic cricket, that is Ranji Trophy. The challenge was to sustain and to perform even better. Now my dreams were to play for India A or Indian team, or get selected in the West Zone team, or play for rest of India in Irani Trophy. So step by step, my goals, my uh, the aims that I have to achieve. I mean, everything started changing, and with time, I had to adapt myself, and you know, adapting is also one of the challenge in our lives. You know, they say that change is only constant in the nature, so you have to keep
Hmm.
changing uh, according to the situations that you face, and for that you got to adapt. So yes, so these were the kind of challenges I faced from making my debut till making my debut in international cricket, from Ranji Trophy to international cricket. Yeah.
Also, sir, I had seen one of your articles that in which your photo was there standing in the western line of the
Yeah.
Mumbai to Palghar train, and some kids were waiting to take the selfie as they recognize you after the South African test when you are returning.
Yes.
So that was truly an inspiring journey, because it's not a easy for a boy from Palghar to go to the national level, team level. So, sir, my
Yeah.
next question is, as we know, cricket is a very challenging sport, mentally and also physically. So, how do you prepare yourself so that you will live to the expectation that you have set by yourself?
Uh, See, when when you reach at the highest level of cricket, that is international cricket, when the world is watching you,
Hmm.
there are going to be expectations, and living up to expectations is tough. I mean, if today I take 3 wickets or 2 wickets, people are going to expect 4 wickets. When I play next, they are going to expect 5 wickets. They are going to expect 6 wickets. So expectations are never going to stop. They, even your family members, the closest people to you, they will also expect a lot from you. But as a cricketer, as a sportsman, it's important to identify whether you have given your best on the field,
Hmm.
because performances that you see on the scoreboard or you see on the scorecard is a result of a lot of things. And in a team sport like cricket, results depend on your teammates also. If I'm bowling, someone drops a catch, the wicket's gone. It's not going to be seen on the scorecard. Uh, if I'm a batter, if there's a miscommunication, I get run out on zero, or if I get out on the first ball, it might not be my mistake, but the scoreline says that I got out on zero. There are no runs to show. So, it's important to sort of do self-analysis, that whether you have given your best on the field on that particular day, and be happy and content about it, because results will follow, and results will never be the same. It will always fluctuate. There would be few players who are lucky enough to only experience the highs in their life,
Hmm.
but there are a lot of players who would experience highs, lows. So the graph will always be up and down, up and down. But how much down it goes, that depends on your personal, hard work that you do, the efforts that you put in. And like I said, you have to self-analyze that how have you performed on that particular day. And performance doesn't only mean uh, the results.
Hmm.
You know, result is something that is byproduct of uh, the preparation that I have put in, the how focused I am on the game, or probably how much have I concentrated. Uh, so and even you have done all of this, you also need help from your teammates.
Hmm.
So coming back to expectations, I think if you if you try to look at expectations, those those are feeded by people or your family. Arey, we want you to take 5 wickets, or we want you to score 100. And yes, it's good, but it will only lead to disappointment if you get into it too much.
Hmm.
Like I said, results are not constant, right? they are supposed to be, one day you lose, one day you win,
Hmm.
and it's bound to happen. It's a sport. So I think looking at expectations will be a mistake on a player's part. It's better to look at what we can do best.
Right.
Yes, there have been times when I was very young and I used to, think, oh, what will my family think if I don't do well? What will my friend think when if I don't do well? If you don't do well, that is okay. But what is important is how you come back, how you self-analyze. Uh, Next day when you wake up, are you ready to put those efforts again and let go what has happened in the past and look
Hmm.
forward to what's right in front of your eyes, so present and the future. So that way you keep moving on.
Right.
So my take on expectations is it's good to have, it's good to know in back of your mind that okay, you are expected to do this, but more important than that is the efforts that you make on the field or even off the field. When you are at your home, what you are
Hmm.
eating, are you sleeping enough? Are you looking after your recovery? Are you doing enough fitness? So these are the things which are controllables, which are completely in our hands, and expectations is something which is uncontrollable, that is not in your hands. That will expectations will only grow. Today everyone expects Virat to score hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, but if he keeps thinking about it, then probably he'll be disappointed if he gets out early. But few years down the line, when you see, he would have exceeded everyone's expectation because performance and um I mean, whatever the performance and results are something which you would like to see when you retire at the end of your career and not
Hmm.
like right now, right now.
Yes, sir. So self-analysis and keeping at the back of your mind the expectations from your family members, your friends is an important thing. So, sir, my next question is as a fan perspective, as you have represented India in all three formats, Test, ODI, and T20. So, which one do you find the most challenging? And, sir, follow-up question is that, key, as we know, we have to adapt very rapidly in this game of cricket because one time is a T20 format and the very few days after you have to adapt for the Test cricket. So, how this adaptation takes place as a bowler or as a cricketer?
Uh, it's definitely tough to adapt from one day T20 cricket into a test match because test match is a longer format game. Physically, to adapt from a test match to ODI to T20 is easier because those two are shorter formats.
Hmm.
But again, the game changes. So, how you adapt is important in your batting, in your bowling, because you might have to change your strategies, you might have to change your plan. You know, that's the beauty of this sport that it is played across three formats. There is one format, Test cricket, where you are tested completely. It tests your skills, it tests your fitness, it tests your mental ability. Over a course of 5 days, every morning you wake up and you still have to, you know, run as someone says, okay, go Shardul now. So from that moment, I have to be at the top of my game, and that happens over 5 days of period. So you have to leave away the tiredness that you have in your body, the soreness that you have in your body. Somehow you have to forget about it, and keep doing what you're doing the best. So that's the challenge of a test match cricket. Now ODI cricket is something which is in between test cricket and T20 cricket, but it is equally tough because in T20, like we know, T20 cricket is too intense.
Hmm.
So now T20 cricket having influence over ODI cricket, also ODI cricket is become intense. So so the intensity that you bring from the T20 cricket, you have to maintain that intensity in ODI cricket for 50 overs.
Hmm. Right.
You understand? So again, the time has doubled up.
Hmm.
T20 cricket is played over 3.5 hours. Cricket is played over 7 hours. So from T20 cricket to ODI cricket, double the time you have to, maintain that intensity. So that's a challenge. That it starts at different pace and it takes on.
Hmm.
So probably for a bowler, it starts, still swinging, trying to swing the ball like you do in the test match.
Hmm.
For a batter, it starts, let's say that okay, I'm going to look what's happening, whether there's enough movement in the ball or I can start hitting straight away.
Hmm.
So there are 3 4 overs in the start which are, still have the tempo of a test match. Then suddenly it takes over and it has a tempo of T20 cricket. And there are a lot of rule changes now. For bowlers, it has become even more tough because from previous years the rule has changed to 5 fielders being inside the 30-yard circle,
Hmm.
whereas earlier you were allowed 5 fielders outside 30-yard circle as soon as power play gets over. But
Hmm.
now that is changed to you know from 10th over to 40th over you need to have 5 fielders inside. So you know that every over there's a chance of batter hitting you for a 4 or a 6. So sort of you have to guess that okay whether the batsman is coming after me or no. So that's a challenge for bowler. But yeah, it works both ways. So if there's a wicket fallen and new batsman is walking in, so suddenly he sees that okay there are 5 fielders in the circle. Now where do I take singles?
Hmm.
There's no chance but to hit for a four, try to hit for a 4 or a 6. Now that's where opportunity lies that he can get out. He can do a mistake. So it works both ways.
Hmm.
So there are different challenges in different formats. And T20 cricket now that we know it become a totally entertaining form of cricket. Yes, there are a lot of strategies and everything involved. But what we like to see is sixes and fours being hit. So for bowler, it's become tough. It's getting tougher and tougher in T20 cricket. For batter, it's getting easier. But like you asked previously, that once you score runs, there are going to be expectations. So for him, the challenge is to living up to that expectation. It's like that.
Yes, sir. So, sir, as we know, the test format is one of the most mentally exhausting and also the physically exhausting. So, as we know that you had played the iconic test like GABA or Lords or Ovals. So, sir, is there any particular batsman that you enjoy bowling against the most in your tenure as experience?
I think in Test cricket, to bowl at Steve Smith is a challenge because he's a different batsman. He likes to move a lot in the crease, and you don't know
Hmm.
what he's trying to do. Sometimes he'll defend, and suddenly play a shot out of nowhere. So it's overall challenging to play against him in Test cricket, and probably in ODI and T20 cricket now every batter is getting dangerous. So I wouldn't say any particular batter, but everyone is trying to hit big sixes, big
Hmm.
fours. Everyone's trying to score big runs. So I wouldn't name any one particular batsman in ODI and T20 cricket, but Test matches. Steve Smith now is a batsman that I enjoy bowling at him.
Oh, yes. So, sir, what was the feeling in your mind as we know that when the team India was all out at 36 in the very first test against the Australians at the Adelaide Oval, and the transition to the iconic GABA test, recovering from such a severe loss in the first test is not every team's cup of tea in the whole world, and especially in the backyard of Australia's, in their media, in their populace. So, how was the feeling overall at that time?
I think that test series was purely magical. I mean, no one would expect us to win from 36 all out in the first test match, losing it by 10. I don't know if there was any wicket fallen, but yeah, probably 8 wickets.
Hmm.
And then to win, Virat also left after the first game. Shami got injured. So we were already 2 men down going into the second test match, and I remember Ajinkya played an amazing inning in Melbourne, scored 115 or something in the toughest 2 or 3 hours of the game because
Yes.
it was dark, the floodlights were on, and the red ball was not that visible. In those conditions, he scored that 100. It was a special 100 according to me, and um I think the whole bowling unit came together. Everyone chipped in with a couple of wickets. Jadeja, Ashwin, Siraj, Bumrah, Umesh. So everyone got wickets, and after that game, Umesh got injured. So it was another injury. Now we are 3 men down.
Hmm.
Then there was Sydney Test where we were lagging back, and then Ashwin and I remember Vihari played innings of their life where they saved the test match, played
Hmm.
for 5 hours or something. And by the way, we also had a chance of winning that test match because Rishabh was counter-attacking, and then
Hmm.
when he got out, the plans changed to okay, maybe now we are going for a draw. We need to play out, and those two batted brilliantly. But now going into the fourth test match, there were again injuries that happened in Sydney test. After Sydney test, Ashwin and Bumrah had heavy niggles. They couldn't play the fourth test match. Vihari got injured. Then Jadeja was struck on the left thumb, so he was out for another 2 months. So again, 4 men down. So probably till we reached the last test match, there were 7 or 8 men down, and we were completely young side put up against experienced Australian side in Gabba, where they said that Gabba is Australia's fortress. They
Hmm.
have not lost a test match there in 32 years or something like that. So overall, everyone had written us off that India is not going to win this test match. But to win from there shows how magical the series was, how magical that test match was, and how good a bench strength India has. We were all youngsters, inexperienced. I had played only one test match where before that where I got injured, so you can say I hadn't played any. There was three debutants: Washington Sundar, uh, Natarajan, Saini. Siraj was fairly young and just came in playing test matches. Shubman made his debut in that test series. So every one of us were young with only Ajinkya and Rohit being experienced in the 11 that we played, and Pujara of course.
Pujara.
Pujara. So so 8 of us were completely inexperienced guys, and to beat Australia in Gabba, the test match went to the last day in the last session where Rishabh hit that
Four.
winning runs. The feeling was amazing. I mean, that after that win, we felt that yes, we are playing for India. The kind of joy we were experiencing all over the nation. So I still have goosebumps when I think about that test match
Yes.
because it was like I said, it was something different. You cannot put that in words because all
Yes.
these events kept happening, and despite of everything, we won. And yes, it was COVID time, so we were
Hmm.
put up in quarantine. And when the play gets over, when the day ends, we go in our room and we just sit back staring at our walls. We can't even go to someone
Yes.
else's rooms and talk to them. So even if you have to discuss a day with someone, like what happened today in a test match, you cannot do that. Like physically, all that you can do is pick up your phone and talk to them. And before the Brisbane test match also, there was so much happening with this COVID thing that we did not have a clue whether the test match is happening or it's not happening.
Hmm.
So uh, we were in a confused state of mind. From there to switch our mindset that yes, we have to play now and to perform like that. It takes a lot of efforts, and I feel it it was a win where every one of us contributed right from the first test match where we lost. Yes, losses are also part and parcel of the game, and till we won the last game and the series there.
Yes, sir. At that time, I was in my class and I was watching that match with my sir. So that was completely
Yes,
feeling like a World Cup wala event. Means after the World Cup, the
right,
transition was means this was the most iconic Test series that all the Indians have been enjoyed because the transition from the first to the last was a completely monumentous, which I personally feel. So, sir, as we know, the Aussies are the best in their turf. Also, the England is also on the other side in their hometown, that is the London Ovals. So, sir, as we know that you have scored the fastest Test 50 against the England. So, what was going in your mind at that time of innings?
honestly, nothing. I mean, first 10 balls, I was just trying to survive out there. Rishabh was at the other end, and no, I probably had no clue which side the ball was swinging. I was just trying to figure out whether it's coming into me or it's leaving me. So, I was still figuring out, and suddenly Rishabh got out. And then tea time happened, or I think he got out after tea. Umesh came in,
Mm.
and suddenly I started seeing the ball well. I said, let me take a chance, and I took one chance, then second one, uh, one after the other, and it just sort of I mean everything fell in place. Like they were pitching the ball where I was expecting, and yes, we had equally put in the hard work in the nets to practice in those English conditions. So uh, and we were there for quite a long time, since a couple of months, so we were quite used to the English conditions, and we could guess, I mean, what's happening now, how's the ball moving, how's the pitch at this hour of the day. And it was a need of an hour, I would say. We had lost 7 wickets for just 120 runs. If I get out defending, then probably we get all out in another 10 or 15 runs. So it
Mm.
was better to counter attack at that point of time. And that was my inner feeling, that if I counter attack at this point of time where I have no batsman left on at the other end, it's best in the team's interest. And that's how I was able to score that fast 15 the overs.
Yes, sir, because the six and the cover drive that you hit to Overton at that ground was
Yeah.
the thing which I remember still now because I was actually watching the test match. So, sir, as we know, after the England test, you were given the title the Lord for the game that you played against the mighty Englands. So, sir, what was your initial feeling that you see on the Instagram that it was completely filled, the Lord, Shardul, and all?
I was quite clearly happy. I mean, that's one name which is given by people. It's not something given by my family or my friends. It's that shows the love and respect that you're getting from the people, and it's because of my performances or my contribution in the
Mm.
team's win. So I'm more happy to receive that kind of love and respect, and where I get the nickname of Lord. Probably one of the happy moments, and I still enjoy it whenever people refer to me by the name of Lord.
Yes, sir. So, sir, what advice you would like to give to the youngsters who want to achieve their dreams, irrespective of cricket or any other domain?
Uh, Simple and straight is, dreams come true. Please start dreaming. You will achieve it. But in between, there is a lot that happens. You have to equally work hard for everything.
Yes.
So, like I said before, that you know, results are the end thing. But before that, there are a lot of things that happens right from you wake up. One thing is my routines that I do daily. Then there's thinking that goes in, like what I have to do today, what I have to do this month, what are my goals for this year, what's my aim in the life, where do I see myself 10 years down the line.
Mm.
And I sort of think step by step, like okay, if I see
Mm.
myself 10 years down the line here, then where am I 5 years down the line, where am I 1 year down the line, where am I 3 months down the line, you know what am I doing this month, what
Mm.
do I want to achieve. So in sports, I would, if I'm free, I'm not doing anything, then I would say okay, this month I'm free, what are my fitness goals, what are my goals to develop the skills, like do I want to polish one of the skills, if I'm an outswing bowler, how do I make my outswing perfect, so that when I'm playing after a month's time, I am top of my game, I'm top
Mm.
of my fitness. So every little opportunity that you get in your life to improve, you have to, I think, reset yourself, reset your aims, reset your goals, and again start working towards it. You will never keep climbing the ladder like that. There will be a lot of ups and downs in your life. You have to keep resetting yourself, and like I said, self analysis is very important.
Mm.
Please listen to uh, people uh, around you, what they're saying, what they're advising you. Get the best advice, listen to it, keep it in your mind, work on it. When you come back home, please sit down, think over it, try to improve yourself, try to take that thing into your stride and apply that in your profession, whatever it is. Today I am playing cricket. If someone tells me that, okay, Shardul, you have to hit this shot in a particular way, I will try. I will try that in net practice, or I will try that, try it when I'm away from everything, and see if I feel comfortable around it. If I feel comfortable playing that shot, only then I will know. But if I
Mm.
ignore the advices completely and keep doing my own things, then I'm not progressing. I'm only progressing to a certain extent. But all the elderly advices that you get, or even the smaller ones for that matter. Sometimes when I'm playing gully cricket, my younger friend comes and tells me, अरे शार्दुल बाप ऐसा शॉट मारो आपको अच्छा रहेगा. So suddenly, there's a new idea that's going on in my mind. But if I don't think over it, then I'm wasting it. I'm wasting my time. I'm just doing what I know. I'm not learning anything. So I would say, try to learn a lot. Try to implement the things that you learn from others. Please try it out in your professions, respective professions, whatever you are doing for that matter, and start dreaming. Daydreaming is not a bad thing. When you daydream, they say that they come true if you work towards it.
Yes.
I used to do it a lot. I'll give you an example. When I was very young, playing in my veranda, I would practice hitting 6 sixes in an over. That happened to me once. Actually, I was playing a Harry Shield game for my school and was able to hit 6 sixes in an over. So it was a record. But that happened because I dreamt of it. I daydreamt of it. I practiced it. I imagined it. So the power of imagination is also huge. We don't know that. We just have to tap into it and explore it. So yes, please, all the youngsters or to anyone, I mean, please start dreaming, start setting goals in your life, start aiming at a lot of things in your life. Everything will come true. Please work hard towards it. Yeah.
So yes, sir. We will definitely try to do the analysis part and the dreaming part, because that is what it motivates us to go strive for the better future. So this was the last question from our side. Thank you, sir. It with deep gratitude from the team EPC and VIT Pune for taking us
Yes.
your precious time and deciding to do this interview with us. And also thank you, sir, for sharing your words of wisdom and experience with the young viewers who will be watching this interview. I'm sure that it will definitely motivate all of us to strive for achieving their dreams. And all the very best, sir, for your future endeavors.
Thank you.